Democrat congressmen and women are very upset right now, incredibly mad. They are upset because their potential future voters are not being let into the country anymore. And of course, I'm talking about the illegal immigrants. Listen to this congresswoman. This is from New York City. She literally says openly in a Zoom meeting that she needs more illegal immigrants in order to win her reelection. Take a look.
We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants, and when I hear colleagues talk about the doors of the inn being closed, no room in the inn, I'm saying I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes, and those members could clearly fit here.
Wow, that is such a shocking and direct admission from her. And I want to ignore that for just a moment, that bombshell that she just said about wanting illegal immigrants more in the country so she can win her reelection. And I want to point out the biblical analogy that she made. She says that we, the MAGA Republicans, are evil, or the evil people saying there's no more room in the inn. A reference, of course, to the birth of Jesus Christ. A story that could not be further from what Democrats want with our immigration system. Let's just break it down for a second. Everyone knows the story. You've got Joseph and Mary. They're in a city, by the way, in their country where they're citizens. They didn't go to another random country legally. And they went to a series of inns and offered money contractually. It was an agreement. They didn't just walk in to go in, but they were all full. They were completely full. There was nothing they could do. Then they found another one. It was less private. Maybe it was a hostel, what we'd consider a hostel today, or maybe it was with a relative. We don't really know. But in any case, it wasn't illegal. They didn't just barge in and then have Mary give birth in a random stable. And that's what this girl is talking about, obviously. So how does it have anything to do with immigration? It doesn't. All she's trying to do is basically take over the Bible. She's telling me that the Bible is just an analogy for destroying the sovereignty of nations. That's what she wants you to believe. I see zero evidence of that, and I'm just so sick and tired of leftists using the Bible out of context to then cudgel Christians who actually do believe in the Bible, but the person who said it does not even believe in the Bible in the first place or have ever read it. That girl has probably never read the Bible in her life. In any case, guys, she's very upset because she needs migrants for redistricting. Obviously, we've talked about this on the show before. What does that mean when she talks about redistricting? She means that the illegal immigrants, even though they can't technically vote right now, they get counted in the census. And the census then determines how many electoral votes in Congress people a state gets. So there's actually a lot of political power behind that. And that's what you're seeing in New York and California when it takes into account the gerrymandering that they're doing there. What they're doing is essentially moving migrants around, inviting them to certain areas and saying, look, we've got more people here. We need to split it in two. And now we get 2 Democrat districts instead of 1, for example. That's why she wants them. The fact that she says this so openly, though, is crazy. I mean, it is openly crazy. She is saying, destroy the sovereignty of our nation, and I want to do that for my political gain. That's exactly what she said. I mean, she didn't mince words. She was very honest. And it's crazy to me that someone would see that and still vote for her. In any case, as for how successful Trump has been at stopping her and her constituents, her future constituents, from entering our country, the numbers are actually staggering. Here's what they are since Trump has entered office. These surprised even me, and I've been following this very closely. In January of 2025, we had 61,000 southern border apprehensions, and 30,000 of those were in the port of entry. So 30,000 of them were just crossing a river in a random place. And that was, of course, before Trump took office. Then you have February, and it goes down to 8,300 apprehensions, then 7,000 in March, then 29,000 in April, then 8,000 in May, and then 6,000 in June. Again, those are just apprehensions. Those aren't people being let into the actual country. If you look at the people actually going into the country, what you see is that in January, it ended up being pretty small, almost like they don't even have an exact number on it. It was that small. And then you have February and March, 0. April, they allowed 5 people to temporarily come into the United States. May, there were 0. In June, there were 0. So again, take the deportations out for a second, because that's obviously been in the news. No new people are coming into our country right now, illegally. And that's huge, especially when you look at the numbers from Biden when 11 million people came in under Joe Biden. And in the last 6 months since Donald Trump has entered office, you're looking at 5 people who have come into the country. That is shocking. At the same time of that massive victory from Trump, this is what's happening with the fundraising in the parties. And this is equally as fascinating. I think they're tied together personally. This is according to Fox News. They said The Republican National Committee raised a grand total of $16.2 million in the month of June, far outstripping the Democratic National Committee's $8.6 million during the same period. The RNC currently has a war chest totaling $80 million, while the DNC has $15 million on hand, according to The Hill. So, what has changed? Because the DNC used to be the powerhouse of fundraising. I mean, those are massive disparities. 80 million versus 15 million. It used to be the other way around. It used to be 15 million RNC, 80 million DNC. It's completely changed. And I think what has changed really is the two big changes are illegal immigrants have stopped coming into our country and USAID has been gutted. In other words, there is no way for Democrats to siphon money to themselves anymore. And that's what was happening, just plain and simple. I think that's a massive win for the American people. Take the partisanship out of it for a second. If there's, I know there are Democrats that watch the show. Comment down below. How is this a Republican issue? Really? This doesn't just help people on the right or independents. It helps everybody. It helps, legal immigrants. It helps all kinds of people. It doesn't matter. It helps everybody in America. And I just don't see how this is partisan at all. I think it's a huge win for America, and it's all thanks to Donald Trump, to Tom Homan, and Marco Rubio. If you're trying to scale your business, listen up, guys. Sales and marketing specialists are both essential for growing your business, but it can be incredibly expensive, and the quality of the talent can be lacking sometimes. And that is why I've partnered with Leverage Assistant. Leverage Assistant connects American businesses like yours with accountants, data analysts, marketing specialists, and sales assistants working in the same time zones as your business for a fraction of the cost. The average company is saving more than $20,000 a year in labor costs thanks to Leverage Assistant. They're not a recruiter or a marketplace. Leverage Assistant is a high-touch resourcing solution where every assistant is vetted through 12 hours of interviews, skill tests, reference checks, and behavioral assessments to ensure that they are the right cultural and operational fit for your business. And so there's no risk to you at all. They are offering 1 month completely free to you so that they can see how great the talent is, how you can see just how amazing it can transform your business. And again, get those labor costs way down. To see what it's all about and to get that 1 month free, head to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. Please like the video so that other great patriots like yourselves will see it. And you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.